killing perpetrated by 5 black men against a black man is the fault of white people. Okay. Meanwhile, in New York, a female agitator, a rioter, just punched 2 police officers, and the DA in Manhattan, Alvin Bragg, released the attacker from jail without bail. So you thought the whole defund the police thing had stopped. Actually, it's accelerated. Heather McDonald knows a lot about this topic. She's written about policing for many years. She's the author of an upcoming book called When Race Trumps Merit. She joins us tonight to assess. Heather McDonald, thank you so much for coming on. This is the tragedy, this is one of them, that you predicted, I think. How would you assess what we saw in Memphis?
Well, this makes me long for the days, Tucker, when we heard ad nauseum from academia that blacks cannot be racist because racism equals power plus privilege, and blacks by definition have neither of them. Now we're at the point where racism is a virtually non-falsifiable proposition. My favorite example of this new paradigm is the claim that the fact that the 5 officers in Memphis were indicted for murder is itself a product of racism. So, you know, what's an ally to do? The only thing you can do is absolve favored victim groups of all accountability. But the larger point is that the post-George Floyd horrors never stopped coming. We lost thousands more black lives to drive-by shootings. Not a single one of those protested by Black Lives Matter activists. And police departments are now facing a retention and recruitment crisis at the same time that the pressure is escalating yet again to hire by race. Pressure that began under the Obama administration and even was more longstanding. Well, letting race trump merit is always a disaster, whether it's in policing or in medical training. And the premise for this diversity hiring is not even true. It is not the case that the more black officers you have on a force, the less excessive force or brutality you have. The Obama administration itself found that in Philadelphia, black and Hispanic officers were more likely to shoot unarmed blacks than white officers. A 2017 study found that the more black officers on a force, the more black civilians were killed. So this whole story, the narrative of police racism and the narrative that getting rid of standards will solve our crime or policing problems is completely false, and it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean, none of this has anything to do with racial justice. These are the enemies of civilization of many colors. It's not about race, it's about destroying civilization, and they're working on it. Heather McDonald, a voice of honesty. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.